It's Luke Wierman against Matt Naruski. Each of these guys tone setters for their respective squads. The officials tonight. Referees are P.J. Colello, Doug Donovan, and Jeffrey Hoffman. Visiting Johns Hopkins in blue, Maryland here on home turf at CQ Stadium in the white. It's the final regular season game of the Big Ten Conference play, and it is the game. The rivalry in college lacrosse is underway.
Easy win for Wierman to start out. Naruski's just increased his pitch count the last couple of weeks. Hopkins goes 3 deep at the face-off dot with Callahan and Dunn, who can spell Naruski. So Hopkins may need to go to that 3-headed monster, which is a page out of Maryland's playbook. It's how they won.
It's the only team to keep Maltz off the board this season. He gets Maryland on the score sheet, and Wierman gets him the ball right back. Luke Wierman, number 2 all-time face-offs in Maryland's history. But in his career against Johns Hopkins, Wierman is just 43 of 93 prior to today. Well below his mid-60% effectiveness. Kelly fires, Marcille fights that off, knocks the rebound to the corner.
Hopkins struggled against Penn State a couple weeks ago mightily. To his stick, he whips it past Brian Ruppel.
Wierman comes up with a draw, beating Naruski. Naruski on the season at 49%. Wierman flexing his face-off muscles from the get-go in this 1-1 tie.
Yeah, shorty Nick Red. Peshko gets angle, he gets a step, and he gets the back of the net.
Jonathan Peshko, another Canadian in the Blue Jay lineup with tallies now in 5 of 7 games. Points in 7 straight. Wierman still operating well off the face-off. A 4-0 advantage for the Terps in the first statement. Kelly's 23rd. He's got markers in all 12 games this season for Maryland. The officials awarding the ball to the Blue Jays as we get towards the latter stages of this opening quarter. Joe Beninati, Mark Dixon, so glad you've tuned in with us. Lacrosse on Big Ten Network.
Tyler Dunn took that face-off for Hopkins. Drew teams when Maryland won in 2017. I think the 73 and 75 guys didn't go home for like a week. They were basking in the championship glow.
Party on. Wierman getting the jump on Tyler Dunn there. Dunn had won his first face-off after Wierman was doing fine work against Naruski. Maryland gets another possession in a 3-2 advantage for the Terps.
Saturday night.
With regard to those tiebreakers, Penn State beat Johns Hopkins, lost to Maryland. As the Blue Jays get the draw, Scott Smith angles back.
With flair, ends up in the stick of number 23, and he slips it past Brian Ruppel.
To the face-off X. Ball scraped out of there by Dunn. Mazzone off the wing. Didn't get it firmly in his cross, but possession belongs to the Blue Jays. Short stick defensive midfielder Jackson Raposo getting Johns Hopkins a chance to take the lead now.
And Luke Wierman is going to work on this. He's going to try to figure it out. Tyler Dunn has come in, and he has reversed the fortunes of the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays at the face-off dot.
The grad student has goals in 27 straight. 33 on the campaign right there among the Big Ten Conference leaders all season long.
Degnan came to Hopkins, Joe, as a midfielder and really was an unheralded recruit by Dave Petramala, a kid who missed recruiting summers with salmonella poisoning and some other maladies, and he has just been outstanding in his advantage and scores the layup.
Braden Erksa on the board in 6 of his last 7 games. Wierman to the face-off dot against Dunn, and Dunn comes out of there cleanly with it. Dunn attacked by Wierman, ball down. The whistles blare out. The loose ball push will give Johns Hopkins the ball.
Yeah, Maryland fans don't like that. That could have been a withholding as Dunn was laying on the ball. That's the other by Braden Erksa.
Dixie, you were talking about Kester and the defensive job that they've done this season with the Blue Jays. How about that stat where you read they've kept their opponents under their seasonal average in 12 of the 14 games this season that they played. They're hard to crack and hard to solve, Marseille and the Blue Jay defense.
And you just hit it on the head, Joe. Not only is the defense improved, but they're getting better goals.
Sideline goes Peter Milliman. 5-4 advantage for the Terrapins. At the face-off dot, Coach Milliman stays with Tyler Dunn. Dunn, who was the remedy to Luke Wierman. Wierman was running roughshod early on against Matt Neruski.
When earlier in the year, he was exclusively sweeping from up top.
Back to the draw again. This one's goose to the wing, and Mazzone comes up with it for the Blue Jays. Mark, there have been only 4, count them, 4 Johns Hopkins freshman midfielders ever to score 20 or more goals. I think you're going to recognize the other names. Joel Tinney,
yes,
Michael Kimmel, and a gentleman named Paul Raber.
That's some pretty darn good company. And you didn't even mention players like Del Dress and that Dodge.
Angeles, in the Big Ten tournament last year against Maryland, went for 3 goals and an assist, his second tally. Coming at a very opportune time. It levels the score at 6 apiece. Blue Jays and Terrapins at CQ Stadium in College Park. Wierman gets the draw, going right to the cooker. Fast break here. Snapshot that's blocked before it reached Marseille on the end line. Maltz was there to...
Like that, that's going to be your end result. Urksa with his 3rd goal of the evening.
Urksa's biggest goal performance of the season came earlier in the year against Albany. He racked up 4. He's got 3 tricks this season. Wierman and Dunn at the face-off X. Ball down, comes up for the Blue Jays. Dunn has had the upper hand in his individual battle against Wierman in this game tonight.
Wow, I thought that when he missed that first-time grounder, I thought it was going to be trouble. Great composure, collected himself.
On this season, top of the screen, you see what he has done throughout the campaign. Against Maryland a season ago in the Big Ten tournament, he had 4. These Terps have won the last 5 installments in the Rock for today. This one puts the Terrapins on top of the Blue Jays by 1. Ground ball drilled, looking for the face-off possession. It's kicked towards the sideline. Zuluk is there, and Mazzone, and it's Mazzone with a vacuum cleaner for the Blue Jays.
Wow, he's such a terrific player. And he played his last couple years in Georgetown as a long stick midfielder, so terrific finish for number 51 in blue.
Nobody in the conference has more assists this season than Johns Hopkins. Pretty passing from the guy who leads them in assists, Jacob Angeles. And the Peshko goal, his 2nd on the night, brings us level at 8.
What a night.
Collison and Peshko producing from the midfield ranks.
The Twin Towers standing next to each other. Number 51 Peshko, 16 Collison, each of them with 2 goals so far in this game.
First on the day for the Terps, and now the last, his 2nd of the game. A week ago, we saw Maryland only score 1 goal in the last 22 minutes against Rutgers. Their offense has been sharper today. Face-off win again for Johns Hopkins' Tyler Dunn. Raposo swims past Luke Wierman in 6-on-6 at this end of the field for the Blue Jays. At the tail end of the 3rd quarter, 60 seconds left in it.
That is going to be the end result. Pay dirt.
Just a reminder what's at stake. If Johns Hopkins wins, they're the number 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament that they host at Homewood. Maryland would be the number 3. Penn State, victorious last night, would be the number 1 seed if the Blue Jays hold, leading 10-9 late in the 3rd.
Was fantastic. Back and forth. Both these teams executing at a high level, not backing down. Can't wait. We're buckled up for the final 15.
That's Mark Dixon. I'm Joe Beninati as we shout out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew here in College Park, Maryland, and back at headquarters at Big Ten Network. If Maryland wins, they're the #1 seed in the upcoming Big Ten. 7 career goals against the Blue Jays. This one makes it 10-10. A rivalry game to savor between the Blue Jays and the Terrapins. A couple of games last year that weren't very close. This one, extremely so. McDonald gets the ground ball for Maryland. Possession here at the offensive end. On the Fox Sports app.
Must be nice in Northwestern and Evanston. They're playing outside, Joe.
Look pretty good.
Yeah. Normally they play in that beautiful indoor facility.
Ball down off this draw. It comes up for Kaufman of the Blue Jays. He gets attacked. It becomes a rugby scrum. And out of the pack comes Johns Hopkins with the ball and Scott Smith.
Wow. This game has had a little bit of everything here tonight. Again, Tay Trader. Melendez changes direction, gets leverage, and puts a beautiful backhand in the back of the cage.
A handful of points for Melendez. 2 + 3 = 5. Off the draw, it's McDonald who steals it. Steals it for Maryland. It looked like Dunn was going to come up with another face-off win against Wierman, but McDonald with great wing play gets the Terps the ball. Desperate times now for Maryland, trailing by 2.
For movement by the Maryland Terrapins.
And now an enormous face-off between Luke Wierman and Tyler Dunn. Out of the pack. It comes up for Gepper. Maryland has the chance to tie in the final 48 seconds. Timeout, Maryland. In a whale of a game in College Park, it's 12-11 Blue Jays.
Luke Wierman and Tyler Dunn's sticks are intertwined at the 50-yard line. The two of them are trying to untangle their sticks. Referees are coming over to lend a hand. I don't think I have ever seen this before.
Talk about getting up close and personal.
I mean, they're walking off the field shoulder to shoulder, and you think they're kind of chirping at one another, but they're just trying to untangle themselves. Two guys that have been battling all night.
We just showed you Jacob Angelus's performance for the Blue Jays. How about Daniel Maltz for the